Chillos, welcome back, people. It's the Critic Corp. I am Toke, and I'm here to give you guys my little anime corner review on Spy Family episodes 3 and 4. Fucking, I had to let that boy simmer for a little bit. I just felt like it was starting to get a little slow, and which it did, because even episode fucking 4 was goddamn, just some little bullshit mission, as you would say, because they, like I said, they place them all as missions, the episodes. um but episode 3 was pretty dope. We got to see Yuri, Yora's brother and whatnot. He works in like the Secret Service type of deal. He gets assigned to this mission to follow and retrieve this evidence, on this 39-year-old former news reporter named Franklin Perkin. Uh, you know, he was he was like a big writer, I guess, or some type of shit for the government, or he had tried to expose the government or some type of shit and got fired. Um, but it's been these variants of articles, and books and whatnot going around slandering on Ostentina, and you know Yuri's chief pretty much wanted it to be put to a stop before a publisher got his hands on it, the buyer, and influence and release it out publicly and influences the public. So he was pretty much just like following this dude around his every movement, until he, got some real hard proof and evidence to arrest him. That he was about to sell all the info and release it. Get it released to the public. Um, it was pretty fucking. It was a pretty short episode. They cut it into two and showed Bondsman, the little cartoon that Anya watched. They had a little splu for that, a type of deal, but that shit was, it was like an episode within an episode type of deal. It wasn't nothing too spectacular. Um, Yuri ends up arresting him because he caught him at the post office about to debating on sending that shit out and whatnot. So yeah, that was that episode. Episode 4 was a little bit more interesting, just because of fucking Anya, bro. I swear, she's a fucking trip, bro. She's a clown. I fucking I got a love hate relationship for her, bro. Like sometimes she gets on my nerves, but sometimes she's just fucking absolutely great, bro. She's a fool. So, um, there's about to be some testings going on in her school to place them, pretty much put them, a placement test to put them in where they need to be ranked on, their levels of intelligence. Um, and she ends up hearing about this so-called pastry of knowledge. This little is a myth talking about how it was created by this legendary chef, and is it's supposed to, you eat it and you're supposed to pretty much get smart, obtain some great knowledge. So Um, her, her friend. I forget her name. Damien and his Lagoon squad. Fucking. They all seek out to obtain this goddamn page 3, and I guess the little kid, this little kid named George, fucking ends up swiping it underneath their fingers. I mean, right through their fingertips and whatnot. The last of it, and they end up, making him feel bad, talking about how he owed them and shit like that. So he ends up, that draw. He feels bad and ends up, uh, you know, sharing it amongst them because he literally got like the last 5, and so he took one and then he was like, you guys can have the other 4 between you amongst yourself, and it's 5 of them. Like I said, it's Anya, her friend, and Damien and his 2 little goons. Um, so that's 5 people, and there's only 4 of the pastries. So they ended up playing a little card game, fucking called the Old Maid. Now Anya, given she's her background where she's coming from, the little orphanage type of deal. I guess she never really played any card games and whatnot. Um, so being in that establishment, so she was clueless into how the card game works, but she ends up winning. Giving her little her powers. The little telepathic power she got, and ends up cheating pretty much to win the card game and win the pastry. But her dumbass still ends up not doing too good on the test, and doesn't become the imperial scholar she's sought out to be, and didn't obtain no Stella, all types of shit. It all went south ways. Um, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, bro, why she just don't, you know, try and use her powers for the test? I get it, she can't really pinpoint who's right and who's wrong in the classroom, but she could have like fucking did some homework on who's the smartest in the class and who's like average smart, shit like that. She don't want to make it look too obvious that that she just out of nowhere became smart as hell. Cause she's dumb as fuck. She's dumb as to be. Like, man, her friend in the beginning of the episode was hoeing her ass like, ah, shit, you're fucked. Like, this test is about to place you at the goddamn bottom of the bottom. Like, I'm up here and you're down here. Like, we're not about to see each other after this. Like, she was hoeing her ass. But then they so I like they do 2 episodes in one. You know, given that these episodes are so short and brief and they're like little mini, you know, missions. Um, fucking the next episode, we get a little more action of Frankie and what he's about, which is fucking always trying to obtain some girl's love and just looking thirsty as hell. This man seeks out on a mission to fucking retrieve this missing cat for this girl. So he thinks she'll like him and whatever and type of shit. Ends up getting your assistance. Um, fucking Yor ends up being the one to goddamn saved the missing cat. This dumbass, he ends up trying to use this suit that he created, I guess, like 15 years ago, or it's been over 15 years that he's had this suit. He called it the exoskeleton power suit, but uh, it takes a minute to power up and whatnot, and he while he was in the midst of, trying to juice that boy up, Yor just snatches his fucking back, the part of the fucking suit off his back, and chucks it at the cat as the cat's trying to, flee away, and stops the cat in his tracks, and she fucking, being that she's a fucking assassin and shit, she swoops up on his ass with the quickness and snatches him up. Um, and that's pretty much it. He ends up going to return the cat and finds out that the girl has a boyfriend. He's all butthurt. This nigga walking away crying. Fuck it. And then she assisted him on her lunch break. He came across her while she was just getting on her lunch break and shit. He was like walking around, looking for the cat outside the city hall where she works. Yor works, and she's like, "Oh, I'll help," type of deal. Um, Yor gets a call. She gets a call at the end of the episode. She gets summoned, as the Thorn Princess. So hopefully next episode will be something interesting. Especially given that they kind of introduced fucking Garden, this so-called urban legend crew called the Garden. I guess they've been around for centuries. Twilight stated. Lloyd. He Frankie explained, a little bit about them. How they eliminate one traitor after another. Um, on the shadow government behalf. Like they are ordered from the government to do shit. Within the darkness and the shadows. They're not meant to be seen, type of deal. Um, and the only reason we got some insight on that was Twilight was trying to he was gathering all this information for his next mission, to get into the Doused Industries, and he's waiting on a little bit more intel, from Frankie so he can pursue that. And Frankie's a little bit, behind on that so-called intel and such, because one of his inside mans got fucking offed by the Garden. So yeah, there you have it. Like I said, I hope this next episode's interesting, a little bit more interesting. Uh, a crowd pleaser for sure. Because these last two were a little actually, yeah, these last two were a little they weren't too yeah. Still a good series so far. I fucked with it, you know, given the type of anime it is and whatnot. So there you have it, guys. Leave some comments, like and subscribe, support the motherfucking corp, and as I always say, toodles.